Just to add context, because I realize that a lot of the 80s just sort of get swished together when we think about it in hindsight. But 1987 is the high watermark for the WWF. Their brand was never bigger than on the heels of WrestleMania 3. They became a giant touring opportunity. They went from having one touring show to two to three. They had A, B, and C crews out here. The WWF was in higher demand than ever before. And right in the middle of that is when we introduced the Million Dollar Man character. And we ride that all the way to WrestleMania 4. And along the way, set a record with Hulk and Andre on NBC and this twin referee. And DiBiase's in the middle of it every step of the way. And he's even involved in the main event of WrestleMania. Think about that. His first WrestleMania, and he's going on last with the Macho Man Randy Savage. They're going to crown a new world champion. Of course, Randy Savage gets the win. But now he's on top doing this house show run with Randy Savage for the next 6 months afterwards. And again, context is king. Hulk Hogan is away making a movie. So historically, no matter where you are on the card, you want to work with Hogan. That's how you're going to make your most money. But when it's time for Hogan to take a leave of absence, if you will, and go work on the movie, they relied heavily on Macho Man and this brand new character, the Million Dollar Man. DiBiase walked into the job of a lifetime here, and he just hit it out of the park. Did he not?
Yeah, that's why there's no debate on did he make the right decision going to Crockett or coming
Yes.
in to work for Vince. I mean, it's not even a good argument, quite frankly. He made the right call, and he knew that Vince had huge plans for the gimmick, for the Million Dollar Man gimmick, because it was Vince and another guy's body, and he wasn't going to let that fail. He just wasn't. And Teddy made sure it didn't fail.
And let's also say this, the knock on the WWF had been for a while. Yeah. I know they're bigger stars, but we have better matches here in the NWA. They don't really wrestle. We really wrestle. And that was a knock against the showmanship of Hulk Hogan or maybe a Bruno Sammartino or whatever. But when it comes down to an actual main event world title match, Randy Savage and Ted DiBiase, that's something you could put up against any main event anywhere in the country, no?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
skill set wise, absolutely.
Yes.
You know, you're there's not a booker in the country that wouldn't like to have those guys in their territory and be able to use them. So yeah, that's a no brainer. It's just that was good booking. That it maximized the minutes of the talents in the best way suited for their skill set. And there was very little limitations, if any, between Ted and Randy. They just both are really, really good.
Let me ask you this. In your opinion, the WWF had obviously been a babyface territory for a long, long time. Going back to Bruno, that was the idea. You have this huge babyface hero, and then you just create, for lack of a better word, a heel factory.
Yeah, I like that, by the way.
Yeah, we tried that with Bob Backlund. Maybe it didn't work as well. We have an interim champion in the Iron Sheik, but then it works fantastic. I mean, better than ever before. Maybe Hogan is the ultimate example of a babyface champion in a heel factory. But the other show has a heel champion in Ric Flair and babyface is chasing. We know that they went with the Macho Man. Do you think it could have worked had they made another decision? And instead of stretching out the Macho Man and Hulk Hogan, they stretched out Hulk Hogan and Ted DiBiase. Ted couldn't ever buy the title off of Hulk Hogan. What if he does cheat somehow and wins the tournament? He becomes the champion at WrestleMania 4, and then ultimately he drops it to Hogan at WrestleMania 5. I love what we got, but I could have seen that work.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it would have worked. It would have worked very well. Teddy was ready for that role or any other role. He was a main event guy, heel or babyface. No matter what color jersey he was wearing, he's a main event guy. And so yeah, it would have worked that way. No, not to say the other way didn't work. It did. But if you have another viable option, and you do or you did, then why not give it a shot? It just never came around for Ted in that respect.